Yo, we're here. Oh. Yo. Yo. One sec. Yo. Yo, dude. We're here. We're in the game. So, this is the thing, right? I'm looking at this. Oh, I've got to bring down my game audio a bit. Hi, Kat. Hi. I hope you're doing well. So here's the thing. Rimworld progression. I want to like it. It is a very well-defined mod list. I have nothing against it. However, I struggle with some things. And my hope is that I can kind of massage the edges, right? So like going into this. So we have what you call it? Do ambient horror. There we go. The depressed works as a seed. So listen. Rimworld progression. Great idea. Right? Let's have a wonderful pre-made collection of mods for Rimworld. One of my favorite games. One of my top 20 games. Let's have a Steam Workshop collection of mods that all have custom patching to fit into this list. And that is a hard endeavor. Like, Fernie is an absolute masochist because there is no way this isn't going to escape unscathed from people who expect too much from mod authors and mod list builders. However, I'm going to sound like a contrarian here. The thing that I like doing, right? The thing that I like doing in all of my playthroughs or in all of my games that I mod. My goal, not my every, always, all the time goal, but my hope when I'm playing is that when I sit down and I play, I like the idea of it not feeling modded, if you catch my drift. I know that sounds weird. Let me explain better. I want my game to feel like it's been modded, but not to feel like it's been overdone, like overcooked. Like, to put it in perspective, okay, so yeah, like I am struggling to give you an idea. So I've got this random bar here that is like cool, that's my map preview bar with my reroll for this map that is also here, which is cool. I like this. Don't quite like this, and that's fine. This I also just don't really care about. I like, it's fine, right? Mods are not perfect. Mod authors are not necessarily the same as game designers. And also, like, that's fine, too. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, I am back. Apparently, I was not being enjoyed by the people tuning in to my lovely stream and shitting on this wonderful mod list. So, when I look at a mod list, right? When I'm looking at a RimWorld mod list, this is my idea, I guess. So. My plan here is let's see, let's get some people rolled up that will make this work. Oh, it's okay. It's really kind of funny, actually. So this person is artistic, good at punching things, kind of smart, but that's kind of also not helpful right off the bat. Let's try and get someone that's a little bit more well-rounded. I definitely don't want someone who can't see. Cooking is nice, but frail is not. Not liking women is kind of not great, and being 93 is also bad. Let's see. Melee, construction, and good at crafting, artistic, and medical, and cooking. Oh man, that's a person going right to the top of the list. Little old, but we can't be too picky there. That's an interesting one. That's an odd one to pull up. Let's see. Let's pull this up. Let's try and get someone else that oh no, that's definitely someone. Psychic foil helmet. Nah, I think we're gonna try for someone that's I mean, too smart and brave, and also, I mean, somewhat decent, youngish. Yeah, we're gonna go with these guys. So here's the problem, right? We have no one that can mine. That's not helpful. Oh wait, that makes sense. They literally don't have that. That's fine. So here's my issue, right? We're gonna pop in here. This is what I mean by I appreciate the mod list, but it is entering a point where the intention of the list is still very much valid. The idea is being a beginner-friendly list designed to take you from a tribal playthrough all the way to like an ultra tech spacer playthrough, which is really cool. However, this is kind of where I start to lose that a little bit, and this is what I mean by that. So I pop into my thing, which this is incredibly well organized. This is what actually made me think, okay, this is what I'm going to want to play. However, I go into orders, and already I'm like, okay, this is fine. You know, extract stack, extract skull seems a little weird to like just have as an order, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a mod author, so I don't know how that works. Then I have automation stuff, which like, you know, I don't really have automated things yet, but fine, it's not big. Then I get to zones and it's like, okay, so we have time skip stuff. Bye, hi cat. And then we have, you know, rune circle spots, which, okay, fine. That starts to get a little bit too much for me. Thank you. Having all of that is not the end of the world. I still like the idea of that, but I don't know. I'm starting like these deconstructs. I'm like, I'm getting to the point where I'm saying, pardon me. I'm getting to the point where I'm looking at this and I'm like, maybe this is too much. But anyway, you know, I am absolutely making mountains out of molehills regarding that. That really is not as bad as I say it is. I am just slightly struggling with the idea of it. Feature creep is the name of the game here, and it's fine. But contrast this with having just plain old vanilla RimWorld. I'm like, oh, well, this is cool, but I'm struggling a bit. So, and I will say, I also put this on possibly the simplest part. What got me, so if I go, and I'm not gonna, I don't want to blow it out of the world, but I am gonna go with we don't have Architect, but we do have Ultratech as an option. But when we add in a ton of stuff, and keep in mind, this is going from the base, like, true start experience to basically the same tech tree you would have near the end game. So keep in mind, this is not indicative of the jump you have to make. There we go. So this is just you know, this is designed to just give you an idea of the kind of, let's just go with something, something strong, just right in the middle of the road. We'll do corporate overlords, whatever. So we're gonna load in, and by the end of the game, with this list, I saw this even on the default crash landed scenario, and it's why I'm kind of changing my mind about using this and making my own list, which is fine. I started seeing the feature creep cutting into place. And so there we go. We are here. We are in this ultra tech facility. We have a lot of industrial tech ready to go. However, orders are the same. Mechanoids are the same. I've got a ton of different options for my walls. Like, I have, and this, I guess this is my thing. So, industrially, I now have access to, like, and this is just designed as production. I have a bottling station, a vegetable milk extractor, a condiment table, the nutrient paste dispenser, whiskey, fermenting, gin, vodka, gore wine, tequila, and brandy, a cheese press, a windmill for creating grain, a soup pot, a deep fryer, canning machine, stew pot, electric pot, soda fountain, espresso machine, dairy processing station, artisan fermenter, artisanal grinder, butcher's block, butcher table, electric butcher table, electric stove, oven, fueled stove, smoker, large oven, drying rack again, millstone, slop pot, rag out pot, or ragu pot. Yes. Fondue pot, bar, and brewery. So, this is the thing, right? That is so much production. And that's just the kitchen. When I go to production, I have the cement press, the Tyrian farm, the artisan workshop, oil press, Forsaken forge, tanning drum, machining table, blast furnace, cloth spinner, table saw, biofuel refinery, leather boil pot, tanning rack, another tanning rack, might I say. Because this drying rack can dry hides, but this tanning rack does something different. Silk bed hopper, tailor bench, smithy, drug lab, mending bench, alchemy workshop, book scribe table. See So here's the thing, and I know this is going to be me sounding like an asshole. And again, that is not the plan, but it is where we're at. So, there comes a certain point where I in my heart of hearts, my brain of brains, I look at that Mending Mensch, yeah, a Mending Mensch, an unknown burger. That's freaky. That's creepy. That is, it's not that it's bad. It's not that it's even a problem. But I would rather see less of all of this. So here, what I'm going to do, because I'm going to sit here and I'm going to continue making my point about something that a lot of people, to be fair, are like, that is the point. And that's fine. This is fine. This is perfectly fine, in fact. But I'm going to quit back to, you know, my desktop really quick. And it's going to pop away. I'm going to go in and I am going to uninstall all of those mods. They're all going to be gone. Unsubscribe from the collections. No biggie. And it's going to sit there and it's going to validate for a second. But we have all of that. There's some unknown burger. What can I say? I mean, there's nothing more suspicious than an unknown burger. Have you ever walked into work and on the table there is just a random burger and there is no one there to consume the burger? It's unknown. That's freaky. That I understand why that freaks people out. But, you know, again, and I keep saying this because I really want it clear. The progression mod pack is probably the coolest comprehensive mod list in this in this game. It's very cool. I like it. I think it's like it's really a cool thing. However, the problem that I'm having with it is, and RimWorld's going to take a hot minute to verify because I just uninstalled like 7 times the game's thing in mods. But like, I'll cut to the chase because I was hoping I could make this happen. Someone ordered me and just left like, nah, I'm full. I've actually had that happen. I go to places all the time and I'll get like, so I had a free McDonald's coffee, which I say derogatively, but honestly, like their coffee's not that bad. But man, I'm not getting through it. It's free, and I'm like, I'm not getting through it. But here's the thing, right? To cut to the chase, I think Starbound as a game did a lot of things wrong and a lot of things right. I like Starbound. I think it's a good game. I think it's a great game. I apparently am slightly less in the minority of that, or I'm more in the minority than not. I think there's some, I don't want to say weird frustration about Starbound as a game, but it is definitely a weird one. Free coffee is free coffee. Here's the thing. Starbound, the way they handle tech progression is theoretically you could make anything at any time. Like, if I have access to the materials, I can make stuff. But how I make that stuff is by having the right, like, fabrication bench, basically. So if I want to make things out of iron, the basic foraging table gives me basic iron foraging tools. The basic anvil gives me basic weapons. Stuff like that. But I upgrade those individual benches. And when I do get those individual benches upgraded, I can still use it for other things. Like I can, if I've upgraded to the end of, yeah, I mean, I think Terraria does it too. Like, yeah, Minecraft, exactly. Like, it's, yeah. I upgrade things so I can access those new recipes, but by upgrading those things, it also lets me continue doing the old recipes. So, for instance, this high-tech research bench replaced my wooden simple research bench. I have this over here purely because I have... thank you so much for the sub, Unknown Burger. I appreciate you. The only reason I have this other research bench is because I have another person in my colony. This is Vanilla RimWorld. That can research. That's the only reason it's here. It doesn't have a good research speed. It is basically useless. It's not designed for anything. However, this machining table, when I first started using it, I could shred mechanoids and I think make prosthetics. I think that was it. Thank you so much. I hope you do, Sue. You do too. It is morning for me, but it is probably a different time for you, Unknown Burger. But as I researched more stuff, instead of me having this machining table and then having a separate machining table, okay, to be fair, you start on the research tree, over here, and the first thing you have to do is get smithing. And then you get machining. But here's the difference. Smithing is for making metal weapons, melee weapons, tools, like physical tools. Machining is making complex, like, for want of a better phrase, mechanical things. So there's enough of a distinction between smithing and machining to not want to make this list right here become unusable. Because if I have to because technically they could make the electric smithy. They could say, well, you know what? The smithy is just what we call it, but you make guns there, you make grenades there. But the problem with that is this list becomes untenable. It just becomes long and a nuisance. So we add a little bit of complexity. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of complexity. But same thing with this stove. I have a ton of things that I can do in this stove. But there's also nothing better than this stove. This electric stove is the end all be all of my like setup. I do not need to do anything else to make that work. We're gonna deconstruct all of those. I actually am gonna deconstruct most of this interior section. Not all of it, but some of it. I don't like how this ended up, so we're gonna do that. So, with all of that being said, the reason this matters, because it is dumb to worry about all of this. But the reason it matters to me, when I look at this is the roughly the same level of research quality, if not a little bit more, than that second save. Because that research that they were doing on that second little thing I pulled up on progression was very much like it's not even where I'm at in terms of they don't have spacer level research unlocked. I have more research done, and the number of things that we have is insane that we're doing. And that's just odd to me, is what I'm getting at. Like, and it's not bad. For people who like that, it's not bad at all. And I won't say it is. But it is incredibly jarring. It puts me at a weird point where I have to say that it might have gone too far. Because once I get to the point where like I'm starting the game by being able to carve rune circles in the ground for Psi casters to be able to channel their runes. But that's also something I'm doing in the end game, but I'm also managing my plumbing system and my gas system and my nutrient paste delivery subsystem and my chem fuel system. Like, I'm just getting weird at that point. I don't know. Again, this is a weird one to give a crap about. But like, I don't know. I guess the point I'm trying and somewhat failing to make is that at the end of the day, I really like the concept of RimWorld progression, but I want to see a version of RimWorld progression where I don't feel like I'm juggling 800 things. And I know that they say, well, actually, it is manageable because you don't have to do everything all at once. And yeah, I agree with that. But I I guess, weirded out, which is probably not the right phrase. But I am... How am I doing? Oh, you aren't. I started loading up RimWorld progression, right? And I then immediately was like, okay, wait. I'm gonna explain my problem with the mod list and why it's not a problem with the list, but it's a problem with my perception of what modding is. So I am basically saying RimWorld progression is like the coolest list out there. It's very cool. However, it is very much one of those things that it adds so much complexity that the complexity becomes meaningless. Oh, cool. Yeah, you're going to remain a colonist. We're not slavers here. So I'm just on my fun run original thing in place to give an idea. So like this art bench that I have here is an art bench. It makes art. I don't really need 5 different things to create art. Same thing with my drug lab. I love this because this is actually something that bugged me a while back when I was playing my original personal mod list. Was I had expanded prosthetics and implants or something. Very, very popular mod. Very good. In fact, I still think it's a very good mod. But they decided to make EPOE, expanded prosthetics and enhancements, I think. They decided to make it have a... Oh, sheep have decided to join. Okay. I didn't need sheep, but that's fine. I can trade those sheep for something. But here's the thing, right? It added a whole new prosthetics bench, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But it's also so very, 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 like, unnecessary. And the reason I say that is because, and bear with me on this machining table right here lets me make prosthetics. I can make a prosthetic leg, an arm, a heart, an implant. So if the machining table, which it makes sense, those are mechanical things. Machining tables make mechanical things. If this right here, this thing right here makes mechanical things, and your prosthetics are mechanical things, they can be made at the machining table. And luckily, the guy who did that is aware of that and said, if you don't like the clutter of an additional production table, you don't need to worry. Here is another mod that removes that. You just use the machining table. And so every time I use that mod, and I'm still recommending it, and I assume the mod author is still great. Like, I really, again, nothing at all against the mod author. However, all of that said, that is why I'm struggling with the idea of the progression pack. Because having 5 different production things to make different types of milk so I can make mixed coffee drinks is just a lot. That is more than I personally feel capable to quantify. And people will like that, and that's totally fine. Like, there, again, nothing wrong with that. Same thing with, like, it's the same thing with everyone else, and everything else. This is more a preference thing. So what I'm going to do is, essentially, I'm going to make my own list, and not like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and, you know, say, oh, I'm going to publish it and it's going to be incredible. No, like, it's going to be fine, and it's going to do for me what I need it to do. But yeah, it's mostly I just want a list that works in a way where I don't feel overwhelmed by the concept of the list. I will be right back. Pardon me. will say I did not realize I hadn't paused this, but everyone seems to be fine for the most part. Ooh, we lost a finger to frostbite. That sucks. Definitely gonna get little Odysseus, new 3-year-old, to frickin' bed so we can deal with that. Who is our doctor? Ah, now you're over there. But yeah, no. So now that I've used the bathroom, I can explain this a whole lot easier. So I want to like progression because there's something really cool about being I need to make a kid something. Make kid parka. We have too many kids. Who's our crafters? Yeah, you make those kids. Oh, I consumed some free McDonald's because I just needed something. It was okay. It wasn't great. I will probably regret it, but man, you know, I will not lie to you. It was done in the heat of passion, and it's bad. But, you know. So, yeah, in essence, basically all I was getting at. My issue is mostly with progression. Like, the concept is really cool. Like, I love the concept. It is so neat. Yeah, their breakfast is fine. You're right. It was a chicken biscuit because I needed something that I could tear apart into small enough bite-sized chunks that I could consume it. But yeah, no, at the end of the day, oh, there's a heron in there that's dead. That's sad. But like, the idea of progression is really cool. Start as a tribe, work your way up from literally a tribe of wild men that just know how to make fire. They just learned how to make fire, to being a spacefaring civilization is so cool. I love that idea. Hungry pin animals. Just funny, is all I'm saying about that. Yeah, we can do this. I mean, yeah, we can do that. All right, guys, you got here. Now it's time to what did they say? You know, I will say I should have probably figured out. I thought it was a small raid, so this is going to be kind of interesting. I didn't really think this entirely through. Oh, you know what? Who's the next best social? You? None of your stuff matters to me. Or I should say, none of this matters to me from the perspective of, like, I don't really need any of this. A shuttle is kind of nice. I will sell all of my bad bows. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day... All right, you guys go home. Oh, nope, there they are. Stay here. God, just murder is all that was. That was sad. But yeah, no. The concept of progression, great. The end result, not for me, but that's not their fault. Which is, like, I know that always feels like a cop-out, but hey. All right, we gotta find a new, another source of power generation. Oh. We have a steam geyser. Like, dear Lord, I am not dumb. I'm just, sometimes I forget. So I need a research project anyway. So we're gonna just knock that out. I mean, having a geothermal generator would be, as they say, kind of nice. We'll install the telescope in the animal pen. Okay, dude. Animal starvation, really? You're there are 320 dandelions that you could notch on. You stupid duck idiot. Like, granted, you do have a reason, but also, like, guys, you can't call this malnutrition. I see it. Okay, we're gonna make that better later. The last dandelion. Yeah. Well, he's making boxes. Thanks, Big B. You're 8. Congratulations. I mean, do we not have hay? 1 second. I need to... Do they not have a feed trough? That's fine. I can fix that. We will give them... We will in fact give them hay troughs, because I'm sure we have, yes, we have tons of hay. Oh no, please don't put the... I don't want the shuttle engine in here, you absolute nitwits. I literally only want hay. Oh, they try. They try. But yeah, I mean, look. My system of being, my brain of being says that really at the end of the day, what I need is a slightly smaller mod list that is slightly more. And I might just try the progression core thing, like the essentials. With 1.6, he decided to change the way it works because, like, there's a 1,000 mod limit on collections on Steam. But it's like they have the core and then they have the content. And it's like some of the stuff in content feels like it would be pretty core. And some of the stuff in core feels like it would be pretty content. They're designed to... Hey... I don't know. I like this colony because it is an all vanilla colony. I haven't added any mods to this. And while there are definitive annoyances, like this, okay, so the research tree, this research tree is terrible. And I don't mean that to be an asshole. It's just not really well made in the idea of like, okay, so it roughly is like, okay, so this is all like stuff that, okay, sorry, I keep vanilla. The game handles tech weird, and I like how it handles tech, but it also just kind of pisses me off a bit. And the reason why is like electricity. Yeah, the average Joe, like the research in RimWorld is, what do the average Joes know and are able to replicate on like a societal level? And so it's like electricity, yeah, people have to sit there and ponder electricity to figure out how to harness it. People have to figure out how to make drugs. But in Vanilla RimWorld, you already start knowing how to make a nutrient paste dispenser. So you know the complex synthesizable machine that if you put organic matter into it, it spits out nutrient paste. We know how to make that from scratch, but we don't know how to stick a tree into the ground unless we make a table with some beakers on it. And someone sits there and goes, huh, for like, a couple of hours. And I'm like, look, I get it. This is the future. So what if like everyone and their mom knows how to make a nutrient paste dispenser? But it is very dissonant in my brain. Like, it's very much one of those like, I see. You know what? The one thing I am going to do, I am going to go into the storyteller settings and look at this real quick. Yeah. So we're on commitment mode. So this might be the end of the colony here, but we're going to summon the Diabolus. Because I really want to, I really want to engage in I want this colony to live or die right now, is what I'm saying. Are we prepared to fight this thing? Absolutely not. Oh, especially because it did the one thing I needed it to not do. It spawned on the side of my base that doesn't happen. I have no defenses over here, but that's fine. The good news is we can fight them in the water, and so they can't set us on fire. All right, kids, time to learn your manners. Oh dear Lord, they're already going after my frickin' children. Oh man, I just wanted you guys here so that way I could make sure that didn't happen. Oh, yikes. Yeah, you know what? You guys go away. I don't know what I thought I was doing with that one. Do we not what? Why are you going that way? You rescue Big B. God. Oh, dear Lord. Guys. We have lost so many people immediately. All right. Well, this is now a sad day. I don't know how to feel about that. Guys, I'm gonna say now, the next RimWorld stream is going to be happier. We're gonna have a real old-fashioned good time. We're gonna make some people from scratch. We're gonna use Pawn Editor. We're gonna do what we were gonna do, but instead of using progression, I'm just gonna cobble something together myself. But this saddens me. So I'm going to leave now. I'm going to think about what's happened here, and I'm going to reflect. And also it is 10:30, and I have to make an appointment. So I will see you guys later this evening. I will see some of you later this evening, and then some of you later this evening. But in the meantime, bye.